I've been here a long time, and I've seen some pretty rough talk from time to time, but never like we've had these first couple of months here. And we've become so partisan on both sides that, we're almost dysfunctional.
Orrin, I think that ship has sailed. That was Senator Orrin Hatch talking about how dysfunctional Congress has become. I think he was referring specifically to Senator Warren last night. So Jeff Sessions, the vote may be tonight from what we're being told. That's going to happen. It was going to happen regardless, but now I'm being told it may happen tonight. But there's still a lot of other cabinet positions floating around out there that we're still waiting on. Jared Halpern's joining us from Fox News Radio. Jared, how are you?
It's been interesting to keep an eye on the Senate the last few days. By the way, they're trying to get through all of these confirmations and chewing up the 30 hours required for all of the post-cloture time that I think the Senate has been in session nonstop since Monday morning.
Wow, I knew they pulled a couple of overnighters.
I think we'll probably have another one today. They will vote on Senator Sessions, I think no later than 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
That's when the 30 hours would expire. And then they'll immediately then vote on what's called cloture, sort of ending debate or limiting debate on Tom Price to be Health and Human Services Secretary. That then will start another 30-hour clock, and Democrats certainly would have the privilege, if they so choose, to use as many of those 30 hours as they would like and hold another sort of overnight session, setting up another, I guess that would be early morning vote for Tom Price.
So just to be clear, it doesn't have to take 30 hours, but the Democrats are stretching out each one of these to 30 hours of debate before the cloture vote.
Both sides do this. You remember a lot of those overnight sessions that Ted Cruz did over budget bills?
Right.
The exact same thing.
Okay.
Because it takes what's called unanimous consent to waive the 30 hours. So you need all 100 senators to agree. If any one senator doesn't want to give up that time and they want to use it, it is well within their right. So both sides do this to their own advantages or disadvantages, if you see it that way. You've seen these overnight speeches. Senator Cruz held the floor, I think, for almost 30 consecutive hours. We've seen it from Rand Paul on some issues. You've seen it from Bernie Sanders on some issues. It's really no different. That's sort of what you're seeing with these overnight sessions.
So I may be wrong, but if they're saying that in the past President Obama had a far greater number of his cabinet appointees approved by this point in his presidency, 2 or 2.5 weeks in, whatever the case may be.
That would be an accurate statement.
So what happened back then to close? Because wouldn't there have also been the 30-hour rule back then? How did they get it done so much more quickly?
Because you got unanimous consent. You got all of the Republicans waived their time. Remember as well that the other thing that happened then, not that it matters so much now because we don't have the same rules in place, but when President Obama was sworn in, there were 60 Democrats in the Senate, which does give you the ability to fast-track some things.
Sure.
But to your point about the 30 hours, they simply weren't used then. Democrats are using this as a tool to force debate and show that they're a united front. Remember, Democrats have money to raise and bases to appeal to, just like Republicans do.
Sure.
And so I think that's a lot of what you're seeing right now. In talking about what happened with Senator Warren, I've never seen anything like that. I was aware that this rule existed, that it's called Rule 19. You're not allowed to impugn another senator. That's kind of like the old pornography standard. There's no definition, but you know it when you see it.
Yes.
So Republicans insisted that they saw it yesterday when Senator Warren was reading from this 30-year-old letter from Coretta Scott King and said that, she was out of order. She had to sit. They called a vote to challenge that ruling. It was party line. And so the penalty, if you will, is Senator Warren is not allowed to speak on the Senate floor during the duration of the Senator Sessions debate. What you've heard from Democrats today is, one, other Democrats have quoted this letter penalty-free, and they argue, they're kind of coming out with a list of things that other people have said that should also have been perhaps in that category of impugning the intentions of a fellow senator. But again, it's always in the eye of the beholder. And this rule, by the way, started, I think, in 1903. Because a fist fight nearly broke out on the Senate floor. So
I
we've
read that
come
story.
a long way since those days, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Jared Halpern, where do things stand with Scott Pruitt? I would imagine of the cabinet picks that are left, he might be the next Betsy DeVos type candidate that they're really going to fight.
You could see that. I don't know. They have not set that yet. So
Okay.
They basically are trying to get through this week. So they're going to vote on Sessions tonight. It will set up, and then 30 hours after that, presumably, a vote on Price for HHS, and then 30 hours after that, presumably, a vote on Steve Mnuchin to be the Treasury Secretary. That gets us into the weekend, where we will probably have some breathing room, some time to reset, and then Senate Republican leader McConnell will come back and sort of decide the next tranche, if you will, of confirmations. And I would imagine Pruitt is in that because there aren't that many left who have cleared their committee votes. Pruitt has, a few others have, so I would expect Pruitt to probably be in that second round, if you will.
Very good. Jared Halpern, Fox News Radio, great job as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, have a great day. Always good to get Jared on there. He does a great job, though, by the way. He anchors a lot of their Fox News Radio coverage of major events out of D.C., and if you've ever listened to him, he does a great job on there as anchor of those events. So, yeah, how about that? Scott Pruitt, of course, is the EPA guy, in case you didn't know, and he's the one who was the Attorney General, I believe, in Oklahoma, and who is going to literally destroy these EPA regulators, these attempts by the previous administration to hamstring energy in this country by applying extra rules here and extra rules there that, just like a carbon tax that we talked about earlier, all that does is add money to your heating bill and your electric bill and whatever the case may be.